Thank you so much for staying with us, and we continue with our recap of Day 8 of the Commonwealth Games being held in Birmingham, England. The men's 200 metres final can be billed as a rematch between 2018 champion Trinidad and Tobago's Jareem Richards and Britain's Zarnel Hughes. Leighton, this is one that, has drawn a lot of attention, a lot of attraction. We know how us Caribbean people love our track and field. What do you make of this matchup? Is it overrated?
No, it's not. Actually, there's a lot of history there behind this, because I remember back in 2018, Zarnel Hughes actually went across the line first, but he was disqualified for impeding Jareem Richards. He drifted out of his lane in the final 5 or so meters, and they collided, and he was eventually disqualified. So this is a rivalry 4 years in the making. Both look easily the best sprinters going into the 200-meter finals, and both have improved since that experience 4 years ago. So this could come down to being another epic clash between the English athlete Zarnel Hughes, who trains in Jamaica, and of course Jareem Richards, who trains in Florida. And it's actually, I'm looking forward to it, because I want to see how this one unfolds, because last time Zarnel Hughes was leading down the stretch, Jareem Richards was closing like a train, and they collided at the line. I don't think that'll happen this time.
I don't.
But I do believe that it's going to be very similar, because Zarnel looks really, really good. But so does Jareem. Jareem looks really good. He looks really strong. 20.32 for Zarnel, of course, slightly winded, and Jareem 20.40. This is a clash that, for the Commonwealth Games, it could be one of the races of the championship, because of what happened 4 years ago. So it's something to look forward to, and I think both of them easily look the best of the lot.
Who'll take gold? Only time will tell, because it's so close.
Yeah, I think it's close, but I could be wrong. I don't want to jinx him, knock on wood, but I think Jareem is going to win this one again, and defend his title. He told me earlier this year that he's plans to defend his title.
So another goal for Trinidad.
So I think so. And I hope so. I think, not that I'm having anything against Zarnel. Zarnel and I are cool.
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy as well. The thing is that I think Jareem has put in a lot of work to be as good as he's become. 19.83 this year, which I think is a new personal best for him. And I think Zarnel is still not that fast yet over 200, which is the reason why I want to give him the advantage in this race. If he pulls out a good performance like he did at the Trinidad Trials, the gold medal is his.
All right, well, we look forward to that event, as it's built to be a very, very exciting one. Now, the women's 200 meters will feature the defending Olympic champion, Elaine Thompson-Herah, and Namibia's Christine Mboma. Leighton, I have to say, Elaine is looking really, really good at these Commonwealth Games. She seems to be finding her stride, just like the Queen Elaine that we're accustomed to. What do you make of what you've seen of her at the Commonwealth Games and her chances for the women's 200-meter final?
Well, she won the 100, so she's pretty content there. The thing is, the 200 is going to be a little more difficult, I believe. When you think that Christine Mboma is a factor, yes, but I do think the biggest threat comes from Nigeria's Favour Ofili. 21.96 this year, watched her semi-final, she looked really good, 22.66, and looked very well within herself. And I think it's going to come down to those three, actually. I think Elaine, Christine Mboma, and Favour Ofili will decide the medals. But there's going to be some intense competition as well from Natalia White, 23.09, and of course, Natasha MacDonald from Canada, who ran 23.21 in the semi-finals this morning. So I think it's going to be between those three. I think Christine Mboma looked really good, but she looks a little short of work because of that injury that she had that kept her out for 2 months. So, but you never can tell, because she's young, and young people seem to bounce back from injuries a lot better than older people. So it's a hard one to pick, but I'm on the basis of what I saw in the semi-final, I think it's going to come down specifically between Favour Ofili and Elaine Thompson-Herah, and I believe that Elaine, being faster in general, should be able to pull off a second gold medal here.
All right, well, that one is tipped to be very, very exciting. You also have another Jamaican in the fight, or race, as I should say, Natalia White. How is she looking for you? Run the rule over Natalia White.
She looked good. I mean, 23.09 tells you that she's in good shape. Whether or not she's in shape to win a medal, that's another thing. I know she's run 22.2 this year. She's going to probably have to run that time similar to that or close to that or maybe even faster. Or just about that time, actually, because I think given the weather conditions, because it was really cold this afternoon, and it could be cold again on the final. So maybe 22, if she runs 22.3, 22.2, she could be on the podium. But it would mean that one of the people that we mentioned before would be left off the podium. But, you know, I don't think anybody would complain that Natalia ends up on the podium. She has run 10.97 this year, and she's been inconsistent, though. So if she finds the form that she had earlier this season, who knows? You know, she's looking pretty good.
Well, speaking about finding form, the men's 4x400 meters final will see Jamaica, Barbados and Trinidad and Tobago in that final, Leighton. I mean, I know you have your country in the fight, but based on what you've seen so far from these athletes, who is tipped to be the favorite for the 4x400? Is it any of the Caribbean countries?
No, this is one of those races that I'm not sure about. I think Kenya has a strong team. They have Korea who could possibly come in as a replacement, which makes them a lot stronger. They won their heat today. Jamaica, Nathan Allen will come in for the final, I suspect. And I think they have the kind of quality, I think, see them end up on the podium. Unfortunately, I don't think, other than Jonathan Jones, I don't think Barbados has the depth. That's the only worry I have. And of course, I think Trinidad could sneak in there, but you know, Botswana, Nigeria are also about on par with Barbados. So you know, maybe Jonathan Jones can inspire them to something and get them on the podium.
Well, speaking of Jonathan Jones, I think he has a really, really good chance. Do we have the soundbite from him or? Okay, no, we don't have it, but I know he's also very confident going into this, and all our Caribbean countries, we're just wishing them best of luck.
No, we keep our fingers crossed. He ran a beautiful leg today to get them back in the race, because after the first leg they were miles behind.
All right, well, Leighton, at this point in time, the segment that I've been waiting for, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our team has been waiting for, Riding with the Stars. In this feature, you'll see George Davis, and I'll be alongside him as well, where we preview Jamaica's derby. It has been tipped that Atomica will contest versus Blue Vinyl, and you know, those two horses are set to be the favorites. However, we know how horse racing goes, and there can be an upset. So right after the break, I hope you enjoyed that feature that we prepared especially for you horse racing fans.